Dan Williams, Survive Outdoors. This is part one of two parts, prepping kids for safety in camping or hiking or anything out in the wilderness. And you're prepping them if, God forbid, they get lost, and just also teaching them some really decent, good behavior. We got to start young. So, one of the things that I want to bring up right in the beginning is the Hug a Tree Foundation. If you haven't looked it up, I'm going to put a link at the bottom down here and show you where you can go. So, the Hug a Tree Foundation was due to the fact that so many kids were getting lost. And when you get lost, you get scared. And when you get scared, your adrenaline kicks in. And when that happens, you run and you're scared to death. If anyone's been lost out there, you know how much fear that can invoke. And when you run, you get hurt. But when you run, you move, most of the times, you're going to move further away from the rescue party, especially if you're in very large, expansive areas and they're doing a search party and they looking above in helicopters, planes, they're going to grid that whole section off. And if you move from one section to another, they may not get to that section for another 3 days and come back to it. And the other thing, if your kids get lost, it's also really, really important for you guys to call immediately for 911. Don't think you can do it on your own. It's not a problem for any rescue team to catch what they're there for. So the sooner you call them, the better. But you want to teach your kids to stay put, hug a tree, and do not move. Really, really important. Hazards that are out there in the woods. Yes, it's rare, but be prepared. And bears, mountain lions, you're not into scaring them. I have some parents who go, oh my gosh, don't bring that up. You're going to scare them. They'll never want to go in the woods. No, it's been taught time and time again. You teach children and even adults, you educate them, they're going to be more empowered. You're not hiding anything from them, and you're going to be transparent, and you teach them what to do. So the whistle thing, being aware that what is out there and how to avoid, and if you do run into it, what you should do. Now, again, this is somewhat age related. You can tell a 7-year-old from here till next year not to run. The problem with that is that you see a 7-year-old and you tell them that and they see a bear, guess what? They're running. So yeah, there's going to be extreme cases, no question about that. You want to discuss with them tripping and falling. That's really, really important. Watch where they're walking, watch where they're stepping. Weather in their backpack, which you're going to see a lot in part two of what I want in the children's backpack. They should basically be having some type of lightweight jacket or something to cover them. It could be a blanket, it can be an emergency blanket, a tarp, a poncho, anything that's lightweight that's going to keep them warm from the elements. Plants, have fun with it. I mean, take some regular trees and have a leaf on the ground you find and have them look it up, ID it. Teach them about plants and how everything is connected in the outdoors. It's all connected. While you're doing that, then show them the plants you're not going to clip the leaves off and touch and play with. Teach them about poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, where it's going to be, what it can look like, hogweed that we've talked about, wild parsnip. I mean, this is really important stuff, and they're going to have a good time, and they're going to learn. They're going to get educated. Buddy system, really, really important. If there's more than one kid, just like when they're swimming, they're doing swimming lessons. They have a buddy system. Same exact thing. If they don't have a partner and you're the only child, then in that situation they're not going to have that buddy system, obviously, or they can have that buddy system with their parent, and that's important. Have a discussion with your kids on where you're going to get back to, some place where you're going to meet up, and they should have a watch. In the end, it's important that we teach the kids to leave the place the same way we found it. Really important. Pick up your trash, bring it out, and get that embedded in their brain early on. I see way too much trash in the outdoors when I'm out there hiking, even my God, I've seen trash. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's right next to the trash can. So it's a little out of hand, and everyone can make a difference with that. That would be great. All right, guys, keep your eyes on the rise and your face to the wind. See you next time.